Hi, I'm Jim Rye, and I'm the coordinator of the Emergency Suicide Prevention Response Team. We're called the Resiliency Coaches, and people who are on the team are people who have had lived experiences in receiving mental health services or substance use services.
All right. Jim, thanks for being with us today to talk a little bit about Sanctuary. So if you could, Jim, tell me a little bit more about what the community meeting is as it relates to Sanctuary.
Well, I think the most important piece of the community meeting is that it really brings two human beings or the group of human beings together. We validate each other's feelings as part of it. We care about those feelings. We also want to make sure that the feelings are done in such a way that if somebody is feeling too emotional for the day, that somebody can check in with them a little bit later just to see if they're going to be okay for that day. We also, the community meeting is about routine and making sure that we're doing the same thing each day to check in with each other. And it gives us kind of a barometer of what the room is like and how people are feeling before we start to work with each other. It's extremely important. And it's goal-oriented, and it's not therapy. It's truly about knowing where the people that you work with, where they're at for the day, and how you're going to work together as a team.
Okay. Jim, what are the three questions that make up the community meeting?
Sure, and the questions are very important. The first question that we ask is, how are you feeling today? And we follow that up with, we ask that person to give just one word as to what they're feeling. And we prefer not something as general as good or fine. We're looking to words like, I feel silly, or I feel frustrated, I feel relaxed. And sometimes we'll even do it to the extent that we make it fun. And so, for example, the last week we did, if you were a topping on a taco, what would that taco be in regards to your feelings today? And we had a whole variety of different ones. I believe I was sour cream to cool everything down for the day. And the second question is, what are your goals for our time spent together? And the third question is, anybody that might be able to help you and assist you and support you with your goal of the day.
Okay. Jim, how are you using the community meeting in your department?
Well, that's a good question. At first, it was sort of uncomfortable, and routines are always hard to slip in and make changes. And then we truly understood that the most important piece of the community meeting is connecting with each other before we go on with this work. The work that we do is extremely emotional and can be very, very frustrating sometimes. And we have ourselves to support each other. And that's what the community meeting really is about, is making sure that we're supporting each other, checking in with each other, and making sure that everybody's feelings and emotions are intact.
Okay. How are you using the community meeting? How is that having an impact on your personal work?
Well, personal work, it's interesting. I didn't realize how often I did this, but anybody that I come in contact with that I may be working with, the first thing I ask them is how they're feeling today. Now, it may be in different ways of doing it, different shades of doing it. For example, how you doing today? How you feeling today? How's it going today? All looking toward showing my concern for that individual and how they're feeling for the day. And it's extremely important, because I know when somebody says that to me, I feel very important that somebody actually had the put me into a position of importance to ask me that kind of question. Give you an example. One of the things that we talk about in resiliency coaching is that when you're a kid and you're playing, let's say, kickball or something like that in the street, and everybody's done and kind of a little sweaty, and you sit down on the curb, and your best buddy comes over to you and sits right down next to you, and what that feels like, and how wonderful that feels that you've got a best friend that's sitting right next to you. That's what we try to instill with the people that we work with, the people we work with and the people we work for.
Okay. Jim, how do you see community meeting having a positive impact not only on Zeph Center staff, but as importantly on the clients we serve once it's fully implemented?
Well, I think that's a good question, Steve. I think that what it provides us with is, in order for somebody to motivate themselves, to empower themselves, there has to be an environment so the individual feels comfortable to be able to make a change for themselves. In order to do that, you truly have to have people that care about you, that you surround yourself with. And with Zeph, having people that care about people's emotions, about their feelings, about their humanness is, I think, the most important characteristic that we can convey to another person when either we're working with them or working for them. And if we're not doing it as a social service agency, then who is? And it's our responsibility as that agency to be the leader in the community. And I think that's what Zeph does.
Great. Jim, thank you so much for your time. And for those of you watching this video on whatever platform you've connected with it, I just want to let you know that you can reach out to Jim as a member of our Sanctuary Core team with any questions or assistance you might need related to Sanctuary. And also to remind you that our Sanctuary Core team members are all listed on the Sanctuary tab under ZNet, and there's all sorts of other good tools and information you can find there. But Jim, thank you so much for giving your time and sharing your expertise today. Thank you.
Thank you.